nte ibe lifeless ande nte manke bitanti de je Mustapha kule njahal ko sanji jolumbino Mustapha ikungo kot ini alatem kana tina ngafo de je sanji jolumba flo Mustapha no, this is not you je sanji jolumba flo Mustapha mbatu ngai mba flo Mustapha sanji jol ngafo Mustapha ali hani make Facebook de make Facebook make what bari memena nte me da fule Mustapha hani lundo mina so ngoy Mustapha ite ala jubel ba Mustapha ye ko ngokot emne fonye no bari mune bula nyin kot la jumale nyi inspire kandi juma fo ya mente malo mi be kerimba ja fo ya ko be ko sai ko nyoko sai nga face scrub nyol be lek badi mo ko ni face scrub ngay badi mo ko ni face scrub fo nyana be ba malmala ri nyame Musa sanji jelunti ba fle Mustapha ira ko ngoli Mustapha hani make Facebook wala make Facebook sanji jelumba fle Mustapha ala jube ko ngokot iko nyeko no nyimfle so amari ko iko te ko ngokot janin ka fem fo iko ngokot folo mbe musuku nyino musi nyino ko min to de ngamra so ne yala momi yete ko tin no iko ngola ikunti yo kot no anini imo fo ndia sanji jelunti be no Mustapha ko ngokot iko ngokot baba kay mantelong ima fo baba o fo baba ba Mustapha so if we jam be financial moral be shape me odilal fo kay investigate ye fo ke mo investigate la de bari ñi laile watu nga sirif bo jang komandina ñim fo kay investigate sirif bo jam batu nga komandina nana je la ilaha Mustapha so jumala atine nyingine ay ni bima ikam to ko momba badibu ibima
I bought my hair. That's not.
But because you refused to do it for how many years?
I used to carry a dreadlock and it was more expensive to take care of. A small one.
So memina no but jumala ko eko sayenko ikoli. Ani ima fanya mba nyunkoli jantelal.
Before I looked miserable,
so say shampoo ni hair fengol face scrub nyolbe. Wait there. Go. Tata. Olmeje bule. So science abarsila wode isaima. Mo faite nte karante da dundi la kol kono. Je. Nte jahal talako. Ngai man kol understand no. Ngai man. It's strange. Mustapha sinya jelle. Hani watu mina fango bronjin ka diamule fonda e jango Mustapha nyimbon fo mol kan koli ka fo nyiko fo Mustapha ko ala ko tambita nyina la nyimbon da ko ngoto imanso je ina sidro ngi isilam biwo dro ini ala tema kane kali nyina de kane kali de ani kane kali ila dino tambita wala ba kane kali de.
Okay, so I want to look nice, but Mama for you.
So you want to look nice for who? That's what I want to know. You want to for who?
Why would I say that on camera?
For who? You want to look nice for who? Iko kante doma la nene, kante doma fu hala de. Imola fu wala ila fta minna yo lo mi ati ne nyun ko kot.
Mwende kamera to ngakaja.
Ani? Ila fta mi ati ne yo ko kot. Kana ati na ngafo. Kam. Mustapha. Tengate bitayano. Tena Mustapha te bitayano.
No, Martin,
Ah, biode, like biode.
no, I mean, I have to, that's all.
Yeah. Be mad.
You watching Quran different. I look rough.
Anybody be mad? Inyada be malamalari kamera ko fenko. Kabri butana Germany juba ko Mustapha dong. Fa buta badi bu sabale bam fa buta asali kenyele ba. Bari be man. Be mad. Be come to ko min fo jita na sai. Je?
But I also need to look nice sometimes. But
What ko ida. So ngade
video live.
ni mantara live. Ila yin story la bang orang ofo bang.
But I remember live.
Hani mantara live. Mbe live le de. Ekarata kuma foja. Mbe live le de. Ni nada kuma foja. Ni ya lon ko butuo. Mbe live le de. Mbe live le de.
You say come here to work a live thing.
Ah, nkaje moli ya jubego katu akata mtefanga bulu fenkol.
I'm fine. I mean, I look nice sometimes.
No, beri manta nte fama de rejele tenting.
But sometimes
Sanji jelu sai.
I'm nice.
Mustapha last time nge kon Mustapha nge comment hotel Mustapha.
Yeah, but what I'm doing.
Fa Mustapha jambe trim, ay janu be trim ay be feng.
No, fine. I'm better.
Hani mo fay kana tina nga fo de mi yatina. Yamun tengon.
No, but fine. Honest.
Ngoti mi afwe. Ini ay ikali. Mustapha.
No, mama.
Ini alate. Mustapha kali de. Hey, chatans Mustapha. Ah, no. Ah, Mustapha yala kunyo watu kono. Ni face crop ni fengo lensa ni wolela. So Mustapha baranyara jiwa. Baranyara beji be malamala rimba. Mustapha for you are taking care of yourself de. La. Inya takela de. Bari sainde man fenda sute. Yeah.
But I'm not any different anyway.
You're different today. Kunun ko kabringe jela ila rasta kungol bebe lori kungol bebe dundi ikamira ko mominta fango bulu.
No, but this one I involved nobody asked me to do it.
Ah, ni be théâtre ni ne fisiat ni be théâtre ni man fisiat ni be théâtre.
That dreadlock for nice.
Ah, dreadlocks me told nice.
The one I had was
No, it was not.
I don't have more time also and patience.
No, it was not nice.
Take good care.
It was not nice for your kind of job. You don't need dreadlocks.
Dreadlock don't this do
No. For your kind of job, until society ma will think society mo be na la society, until society kono woman acceptable. You know I'm cafe sinyajel.
Senegal mo be in dreadlock.
Tell me Gambial. Ha Senegal, me Gambial. Aya ndo Senegal ya. But yeah, itara jana iko solution yanko iko copy natinye imana natinye.
Solution, yes.
I thought
that was in French.
Yeah, the French one, but I don't really mind the French one. Let me just have it as souvenir
And keep it in
and just keep it in my closet. Every morning I see a cross on my.
Dolbe
Nada pastef. What I got to laugh like la pastef. Butu ala mol. You call for you.
I empathize with him. I was not supporting him.
Yeah, we're going to change the entire dynamics in Africa. No, that's what's going to happen. They're going to deliver. Amen. So, last single, let's talk about your last story.
New story.
Nyingame acception.
It's not livestock doing the problems.
Livestock. Nisol Nivenko. Oh, you did the aircraft first, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you did it.
Burol.
Burol Fana.
Jammeh Burol.
No, Jammeh was a very interesting human being.
Yeah, I think Jammeh also. But more fell long. The only thing more than Kalam they all don't know.
ni so le dama wa but ni ndol do wolle burol ni nyim fen dol wol momango record soto ibe tulungol
everybody in Dara say we don't we record Darboe, listed Darboe, nothing. This all your work, but this all for like you really work from one clear because different numbers of 746,
746 ni so
yeah, 740, 725.
the sheriff's office, yeah.
Yeah, so go to money should be wafi, but in my home and you should mean for Nankamoa. Come here, it's stuck for you. Yafon, you should mean Nankamoa. So, you could buy money should be wafi. So, by my home, Nankamoa.
Oh.
Because I don't damn any so do so they can wild cattle.
Yeah.
You
can blow wool on.
You can woo here. Jammy from my niece or Lankamola. You woo to the root of the local. You could jammy sense and balance of Canada. There are base sense and Girias or that.
Yeah.
So, sometimes from Lukatambu, so you should go on Canada. You will look on a dear. So Korea rule every day. Some say it's over 1,000. Can you lie down?
But it's a finger con it jealous reports to means me wife it. You mean what? Ha?
725.
No, it's definitely more than that.
724 because you go to the 725 but in this one near different characters, so near it loss. 724 so it's but even if but more love the many are waffy, one of them.
I will lay waffy.
Yeah, but we'll from our waffy politician or one of that again.
Okay.
The problem mentioning people like that is in investigation, CIFA, you can only be rely on documentary.
Yeah.
So, saying, there are claims that certain political figures in certain political parties were involved. Politician,
yeah.
Now, but you know, near of Safe, I don't want to suffer in
system of, and you don't have any paper trail to that.
You don't have any paper trail. You can rely on here, say, but then, you know, yeah. So, Nisha story was complex, but I mean, I'm not going for it. We will do more. We are still working on ascertaining everything that happened. Nisha went to the data, and you put a bali or something.
I'm all right for it.
Just
79?
Yeah.
Sergio.
Yeah. They all record the ball 30 something and stuff. But all you record the court records for the approved quality. But
they cannot be accounted for.
No, there is no trace of them. Not doing anything as self-division party at this year.
79. Wow, that's interesting. Wow, that's crazy. From 79, but even that number 79, knowing Jamila at Isajul Misoto, that should be, that's way more than 79. Jamil, if you know Jamil and you visited Kanilai, that's way more than 79.
Because proper inventory in Jamila assets saved. The proper inventory can structure very
more organized.
So, for example, near Itata, Jamil bottom row, we have inventory. So we take inventory of all the assets, everything he has, and we made sure this is centralized.
Yeah.
One institution
They control.
And so, for institutional accountability institutions like audit office, Contextual,
Yeah.
then now we can say overnight centralized. One institution and when that institution says they report to one accountability institutions.
Yeah.
This is what we show. This is the inventory. This is the valuation. This is what we show. But Jamila assets were sold by at least 5 different institutions.
What?
Yeah. So it was like so if you want to now, all I'm going by is difficult. People will blame, even my last stories, there are some unanswered questions. Like for example, who bought the cattle?
Who bought the cattle?
I
Yeah.
don't know. I cannot say.
How?
Because there is no record of who bought the cattle. So I'm going to be where they are here says, you have, and many are on coalition from Wafi, Eban Kandia, and we just look at the data, and so Wafi, Serif Tabali, or Quatem High Court Justice letter. Of course, he's a High Court judge. He cannot talk to the media.
But there's no record. If at least if they're not speaking, but if the
there is a small 2-page report, but I mean you sell the you sell livestock, Jamaica livestock, entire livestock.
Yeah.
You write a 2-page report of text and bank statement. The other 2 pages are bank statement. Bank statement is not part of the report. That's what you financial statement you get from the bank. That's not part of the report. That's what they are. They just have 2 pages of text. Quarterly 79.
Sergio.
79. Quarterly 79. Calculator Farato. 34. Walter Banjurundi. 635 or 634. Walter Canela.
Is it possible also for
Farato
dam Jamelo Gano me Farato? Is it possible ko fananko kabirin jametata mol fanan damalu especially mol mine kol maranum yal nako jameti jande fengo dol keita? Is that also possible? Because that's not possible ko jamesaji 79 level. No, that's not, you know. Here says, yeah, but yeah.
400 but there is no evidence of it. It's hearsay. Of course, there is a report that was written to the Ministry of Defense to investigate that. The Ministry of Defense, the Army never investigated. At least I wrote to them, but they never replied. Yeah. So, Wasifa Ali called them, Jamila Family, Sunyan Talare, Mojama Fufuro Kanaje.
Wow.
Kind of like, because also, it took a long time before the government could
set up anything, yeah.
Effective
control of everything, yeah.
That also happened, so go there right now, take inventory of everything, take control of everything. I didn't understand the rush though, because Kanilai is the most militarized village
in this country.
For state to pretend that coming there in a rush to
sell off
stuff because they were going to disappear. That's the most ridiculous thing. It's as if saying the army is not under the state.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Mark, thank you for saying.
A lot of agendas le dunta ko kono.
Yeah.
Jamila assets work for a lot of agenda dunta je wal data ko they make money.
They make money. But then the fact that even the list of our properties sold, right? You remember, I know you, that has... This one, do you have the list of who they... Because I remember, no, the other ones... And there are a lot of assets that are unaccounted for. Meaning, I don't know in the system for but you know that.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, so you see, okay, I was talking to a friend. Daula Jalo went to the parliament or there was no gold found at Gambia-Senegal.
Yes.
And I fact checked it and I said, well, there were some golds. But so I was talking to some guy and I told him, you may also blame that, but there is also a possibility that there are certain things he doesn't know.
He doesn't know because he was not the minister at that time.
Yeah.
He
and
was
not just that also.
Yeah.
There are things like we can imagine. If several institutions sold stuff,
Yeah.
Understandably, they should, after selling, all the information should be sent to the
Ministry. Yeah.
But things don't work like that here sometimes.
Yeah.
So if
But the fact that
I know the struggle I have
to go through to get some record, I know. Yeah. Records.
And even where you get records, you don't get inventory.
Yeah.
So auditing investigations is like auditing. You have to get specifics.
Yeah.
You can't just come to me and tell me we have sold 5 planes and we got $740,000. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
What you need to tell me is this is the number of planes we sold, of course. This is the planes.
Yeah.
And there are numbers.
The serial numbers thing. Yeah.
Brand, this is this. So, for example, we sold Boeing for this. We sold this for that. We sold this for that, and we sold it to this person at this time. Specific information.
Yeah.
So that I can go and verify and look at potential conflicts of interests where they may be. I can look at also the valuation reports versus what they eventually sold them for.
Yeah.
And things like that. So specific information is what helps an investigation. So if you come and give me a bulk stuff like, okay, I sold 25 vehicles and I've recovered 20 million.
Yeah.
You're kidding, because how do
you know? For example, Jame has a Rolls Royce. How much was it sold for?
Yeah.
Because
So
cars are different, right? Everything has a different value.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you need to tell me, I sold one Rolls Royce, and I sold it for $2 million, for example, and I sold it to Samba Jalo,
Yeah.
or Mustapha Darboe, and I sold it at this time. You know? So I rely on those specific information and to say this is what the procurement process was. So, for example, Patel did the valuation, this is his telephone number, and his valuation said this is the amount.
Yeah.
We sold this for this amount.
Yeah.
Those kind of specific.
Yeah, because there should be valuation reports as to
Exactly. And also, we did open bidding for restricted tender, and this is how we did it.
Yeah.
And this is the platforms we use to publicize the properties. This is the information a journalist needs or an auditor needs.
Yeah. But in the absence of all of this, because I know you don't get all of this, in the absence of all of this, how do you pitch all of these different information that you get?
You just go to one place, like for example, cattle, you have to sit down and think. So cattle, I knew cattle were sold by a court order. So I go to the court and I ask them, you ordered for the sale of the cattle.
Yeah.
After the sale, they must have sent you a report. That's what they've done.
Yeah.
The execution report. So where is it? The court approved.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I took it from the court.
Yeah.
That's one report. That is for the self. Yes. So the second one was from the court, I went and reviewed all the court records. Yeah. The judgment that was issued. So state also, when you are applying to sell something,
yeah,
you will itemize, this is what we want to sell.
Oh.
So I have access to that through the courts.
Yeah.
So So also the sheriff, after the sale, they made a copy of the report. This was not in the court file, but I got access to it at the sheriff division because Mustapha, Omar Javan is a very open.
The new sheriff, yeah. He's very
So,
open.
and I know him.
Yeah.
So I went and I spoke to him. When we have access to it, I went in, they photocopied, and they gave it to them. In fact, they photocopied it for free. I was supposed to pay. Wasn't much. 6 pages.
Yeah.
2 pages of the report. No, I think 5 pages. 3 pages of report, or 2 pages of report, and 3 pages of bank statement. Yeah. So that is how you get to have some of these things.
Some of this
You have
information.
to rely on court records here and there where they are available. And I wrote to ministry, they said they don't have the records. Until now, they didn't reply to my letter.
But for example, I know you have not finished on that, but for in the event where government says we are not releasing, because we have seen the phony MPs requesting the list of people who have bought Jammeh's properties. I mean, that should be transparency out there. If the sales was transparent, if everything went well, you don't think it should be a public knowledge, because these are public documents. These are things that should be on record. And even if National Assembly members are told they will not release it, what do you suspect? Any foul play?
Well, eventually after Nata, they came to they bring it.
They brought it here.
Yes, but it does not tell the full story, because and that is the problem with National Assembly. So when the state gives you
Information, you just don't rely on that.
The state only provides
What they want you to see.
data.
Yeah.
State does not give you information. State provides data.
Okay.
And that raw data is what now you go to process and now go and tell the people what that data means.
Okay.
In real terms.
Yeah.
So for example, if state says we sold this house and we sold it to Samba.
Yeah. Yeah.
The person who sold it to Samba could have actually been Samba's brother.
Yeah.
And there is a potential that this thing was valued for $10 and he sold it to Samba's brother, his brother,
Yeah.
for $5. So there may be a whole conflict of interest, whole mess behind that.
Mark Jane Kongo close to Mustapha, so they can hear you, because you look at the work. Mark Saho, thank you for the stars.
Yeah.
Mark Jane Kongo close, so he came way back. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so they could have been a whole big story around that. Because I went through the list of assets they released for sale and all of that. And there are a lot of things I've seen. I mean,
Yeah.
because I have gone through that process a lot. Review the files,
Yeah.
go over it again, review it. So you see a lot of things, but on the surface, when they give it to you, it looks transparent. It looks very nice.
It looks very nice.
Yeah, because of course, Pate sold it, Pate bought it, sold it, and this is the amount. That looks very nice on the surface. But if you go and think about it and process it a little bit, you see there are issues there. There are a lot of issues, really. There are a lot of issues. But then, government procurement or sale process
Yeah.
in the Gambia, that's the standard.
That's the standard, or that is supposed to be the standard?
Well,
Isn't that not a concern for us to even somebody like Mustapha to say that is the standard, and you just normalizing it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, because imagine the Minister of Justice wanted to answer some questions.
Yeah.
Right? And he could not have access to data. When I published my story before the minister answered the question of lawmakers. And I'm sure Dauda must have read it because I sent it to him.
Yeah.
So even if they had given him record, so minister refused to say how many cattle were sold. Because he knew my story spelled out all the different number of figures, official figures that are available.
Oh.
So he knew these figures are unreliable.
Okay.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
So the minister refused to say how many.
He did not mention
No,
the numbers.
no.
Okay.
He said he doesn't know.
Okay.
Because he knew the numbers that were out there are unreliable. Because my story proves that, because there are at least 4 or 5 different official figures. That cannot be right.
For the same cattle.
For the same number.
Number, yeah.
And we know the sheriff had made it clear that they did not sell everything.
But can they account for what was not sold?
Yes, they cannot.
They cannot. Okay.
They haven't even mentioned that in the report. Now, all that they say is the cattle have gone for grazing, they haven't come back, but that's ridiculous. When Jame was here, these cattle were being guarded by soldiers. They could have deployed soldiers to take care of the cattle.
Yeah.
And so a lot of unanswered questions. So even if the minister in fact went ahead to say, to tell lawmakers that they should open a parliamentary inquiry into it.
The minister said that?
Yes, he said if you want more answers, open a parliamentary inquiry. You could see, he admitted that there are absence of records. He said he did his best and couldn't find records. And the interesting thing is when the Jana Commission was here, they have all the documents were scanned. All the documents were scanned. Everything that is missing in the stock of Jama's assets, in the inventory of Jama's assets, is by design.
Say it again.
Everything that's missing in terms of inventory,
yeah,
is by design.
Is by design, intentionally done.
Yeah, because Jana Commission had the documents that passed through Jana Commission, they were all recorded. They took proper inventory.
Yeah. So who is the custodian of those records now?
There are different places, but I think Ministry of Justice should have been the primary, should have all the copies, all the vehicles, all the luxury vehicles, the planes, the tractors. I don't know, my data is still there to provide me an inventory of certain specific, because like I said, it doesn't make sense to tell me I sold 25 vehicles and I generated 15 million. You need to tell me what vehicles you sold, what are the brand of the vehicles, what are their conditions. And don't tell me you've sold scrap vehicles. That doesn't make sense.
Jame was not keeping scrap.
Yeah, even if Jame were keeping scrap vehicles, show me a picture of scrap vehicles.
Yeah.
That's how auditing, because state responsibility, when you are selling, you don't just sell for money. You also sell for audit and keep records
of purposes. Yeah.
So, and I'm not an official auditor, but I'm a journalist. And what we do is not more different from what
auditors do.
Because we're also trying to track assets and know where they've been. So
has there been any auditing done on these assets?
So the auditors, interestingly, because I know a lot of people at the national auditor.
Yeah.
The auditors are struggling the same way I'm struggling.
To get information?
Yes.
Wow.
Auditor no they can official they can go and deal. There is no information there.
I know. What do you mean? That's interesting.
No, auditor. Go and talk to auditors. They will tell no. Auditor they're not empowered.
All the president is just is a mere opinion. I got any report opinion less. If you go by that, you don't have, then what powers do they have? But look at, I mean, don't have.
Yes. Because me, I use friends.
Yes.
Auditors, they use process.
Yeah.
Yeah. Process, they write, they don't answer them. Karamba was saying, I'm Jamila time, okay, Karamba was saying there are some accounts at the central bank.
Yes.
That they were not aware of.
He told me in the interview that I did with him, there was this account that Jamila time or Kaiko Iman Song Aya audit. But recovering Baronyol Nata, he straightened it with them, acquire accounting close, but they went and opened the same account again.
Yes. Imagine what a scandal Nata finting over 2020.
Yeah.
So, more than serious about anti-corruption. There's a Gambia no found a poor. I am thinking. There's a
And me and Jahalila was saying, before, I remember before when you're working on stories, you get so passionate, you get so upset,
so angry,
you get so angry, and I tell you, this is not good for your mental health. You get, before you can come far, and you're like, Fatun, tolmu do baleti. You know, our people are suffering, you know, we cannot leave these things. But today, you are more relaxed in your job. What's up?
Because I grow more mature, I grow also accustomed to a lot of things.
Yeah.
And not that I'm not desensitized to it. I'm not desensitized to it.
Okay.
But you know, more jelly, more many along quick corruption from criticize. I've seen them now. You know, I learn the more last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gambia no.
Yes, I learn the more, and the more I know, the more peace I have. Now long young, yes, it's fixable, but
how? How though? Our cholera, how?
it's fixable. Gambia has two options.
Mm-hmm.
One, radical political transformation. That will topple the current order of things. That's one. And that takes not much time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The other one is social transformation, which could take 20 years, because that means it will be balloon to be far. Yet I will target ye kudu nyala nyama me ale te kena fani ya folati te kena tonya te kena tapale moti te kena sunya lati for the respect shuttle
Holders. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, the political transformation, those are the only two options we have.
Yeah.
And that's not going to, the political transformation is not going to, the social change will take 20 years minimum.
20 years?
Yes. The political transformation will come like Sonko will take it and Sifa. That's possible.
Yeah.
Sonko will take because.
But for your Sifa, ya manyaji janle follow. Because the reason why I say this, and definitely the political finko has changed a lot. Ntola mo manghani kasola. Hani yemi sama police station or so mo woka diam. Hani nemi sama police station or woka diam correct.
Yes.
And mol manghani batala.
Yes.
Mol manghani batala, mol manghani konkola, mol manghani soto baliala.
Yes.
Eka moja itaria bisala because
we've been here for 10 years.
And we are still struggling.
Yeah, but the point is, for me, I think no more problem of this. Imagine even me saying I have quit. I don't say that because I thought that is based on ego. Now when I said I have quit, I'm angry, I quit, nobody is listening to me. It's as if I am doing it for somebody else.
Yeah.
That's ego. Now Sonko never said I have quit.
No.
They've done a lot of things.
Yeah.
Because Sonko was not doing it for anyone, he was doing it for himself.
Yeah.
So he knew that this fight had to be done. The Senegal that I want to build is the only alternative. The other option is the Senegal that will kill all of us.
Yeah.
So I would rather not live to die later. I will live to now live again.
Yeah.
If I have, by that I mean, he knew we either build a better Senegal and survive.
Yeah.
Or we leave the Senegal on this trajectory and we all perish. So he, to avoid that disaster in the near future, he did what he had to do. And he knew this was a commitment. So to say I quit is based on ego. It's based on self-relevance, self-aggrandizement.
Yeah.
Because who are you? You quit. But the point, the much bigger issue in the Gambia is more mambo in your kalama. Like people, there are few people who want to fix things. And you have this in all the public institutions. You have this everywhere. Office Modoga when you will give you information. Modoga
See, yeah.
If I come far.
I will come far.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can always see. This is public information.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I face that even in time and try information on Unica.
Yeah.
Yes, I go to places where they see this is public information.
And even
you should be given.
But that brings me to something very sensitive right there, right? For example, you go to certain government officials, it is not information or deal. But the same same government setup kono do ka deal because I feel teleco process minketa nying kono among correct. But until after Mustapha Leake left to Mustapha victimized.
Yeah.
A problem was even though yes the process is wrong, sunyarol kete waranta paleake jere, but in the normal setup by the temake wala ne kamfata nyindon ne yake ikombatunga expose.
Okay.
Is that
okay? So in the position of mental as journalists, ndoli ya sungo musungot.
Sungo musungot.
Ndoli sumudo drong dola business woman. So for sundo la far quality dola item. So dola business is so long as there is a proof that the Muslim that's it. Who benefits? Basa means alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Sungo musungot drone.
What dola business? Because, for example, it's like coming to FBI film make about the blacklist. Raymond Reddington, the FBI was using Raymond to catch thieves. So I mean, FBI was just concerned about catching criminals. So if they use Reddington to get whatever criminal, that's it. They're using criminal to get a criminal. So sometimes, like for example, and sometimes whistleblowers can be very dramatic.
Yeah.
Like the guy who was helping us with evidence that eventually led to the successful prosecution of Banja, for example.
Yeah.
That guy had an issue with the Chinese fishmeal company, Golden Meat. They had issues. But that does not mean that the integrity of the evidence he was collecting was in any way affected. It was not. He was genuinely filming every meeting they had. Every meeting, and you could see videos, you could see audios, and these are audio, you could see text messages, you could see pictures. So you knew this guy was systematically collecting evidence. But the question is, why was he doing that? He was collecting evidence because he wanted to bring the Golden Lead to their knees. Yeah. Why? Because Golden Lead owed him money. So he was angry. Yeah. We take advantage of that. Anger is a good resource. And that is what people in the Gambia don't know. They don't seem to take advantage of. People are angry on the street. That's not bad.
That's not bad.
That's very good. The problem is that we don't have anybody to harness that anger. Weaponize it for a good cause. Yeah. That's what happened in Senegal.
That's where I was coming.
People were angry.
They took advantage of
anger.
How people were feeling.
Yes.
People felt their democratic process. Senegal is known to be the most democratic in the sub-region, right? People were angry about that system. They wanted to change. They were angry livelihood. They wanted to take advantage. But there was somebody present to take advantage of that. Senegal. Yes. And until young woman sort of. I remember the last time I was talking to one of the politicians last week, and I said that that is not here. There are so many things in this country that we can take advantage of. Yes. But it doesn't.
That takes a lot far. That takes one, charisma. One. It also takes selflessness. And it takes a lot of courage and and eloquence and evidence. You have to put evidence before the people. This is, and Usman Sonko was involved in even investigating the Maki regime. You know the BBC scandal. Usman was deeply involved. Yep. So, Ndolajan politician or sometimes even Central Bangla Monetary Policy Committee meeting Bukari. Don't we go and interview people? I mean, the reality is that Dola political Mampare.
That is scary.
Don't know political one parefa. Politician on yenta. Political is based on data. You should be doing research. Can you election of lose? You should conduct a research. How you lose an election.
Why you lost?
Yes. People who are supporting you, why are they supporting you? Yeah. Why are they supporting you? Are they supporting you because you belong to the same tribe with them?
Why are they supporting you? And what energizes them? What motivates them?
Yeah. What are the policy issues that triggers your base? And people who oppose you, why are they opposing you? What is the basis? Are they opposing you because they think, like in the Gambia, we say, support. But is that the truth? Nobody had ever genuinely looked at this, because you do see people, I mean, who are into different ethnic groups coming together into the same parties. So that means, okay, even if there is ethnic politics, there is an exception. Why do we have that exception? What is the underlying factor? Is it education? If there is lack of education, can you not educate the people? Is it corruption? You know, because corruption and tribal politics are one and the same.
Yeah.
In coming for tribal politics, what is tribal politics? Yaman din ko kan o flow kan o fengo kan. Yes, because the person in power who is stealing supposedly was backed by Fulas or Mandinkas or whatever to power, no? And he's still stealing people.
Yeah.
He's stealing from them. So that person is not a tribalist. A tribalist is someone who thinks his tribe is superior
Than everyone else. Yeah.
And if you think your tribe is superior, you make sure your tribe is superior. You see to it there. So like the Germans. Hitler thought Germans were a special species. And he thought they should be ahead of everybody in everything. In science, in military technology, in everything. He thought they were a special breed of people.
Yeah.
Some Dalajan tribalist.
Yeah.
These are thieves. Me, I investigated a case. We investigated a case at the time I was at Malagan. We worked on some cases, and there was a number of ethnic people in the ethnic individuals involved, and it got to look at ethnicity from a discourse that also. That's part.
No, buka hani. Because niafo, and that is part of the problem. Niafo, come for example, me being a Mandinka, right? If I say anything about tribe called drum, ntefonka sila la kafo because nkafo ko ibafolo ko he gaje little Mandinko little mu tribal so at some point you don't even want to discuss tribal issues, but at some point we have to address them.
Yes, because tribalism in the Gambia is underpinned by corruption. All in tribalism, elitism. America Cabral faced this when Cape Verde and Guinea-Bissau were at the same. Lot of elites, they went and studied in Portugal and they came back. When they came, Cabral was a revolutionary, was a fighter in the bush. And when there was a lot of stability coming, in terms of modest sense of political stability coming, all these elites jump into politics. And they went into their corners and decided to try to divide the people into cabal, into groups, into identity, different forms. And Cabral had to deal with it at a very early stage. And if you read his work, you see this guy is very informed in terms of how identity politics or this kind of form of corruption also affects development in the third world countries. But the essence is that, so for example, to expose the ridiculous nature of it. So for example, Ninkoko, let's take Mandinkas as example. So Ninkonga Mandinko Fasa, for example. Now, conservative estimate, there would be at least 800,000 Mandinkas in the Gambia. So okay, if I become president, for example, or we appoint you as president.
I mean,
okay. If we elect you as president, yes, I believe that. So if we appoint you as president, so you go and appoint me on the basis that I'm a Mandinka as director of NAWEC, just to expose the flawed nature of this thinking.
Yeah.
So you are director of NAWEC. I am director of NAWEC. So I don't have any background in electrical engineering or managing people at that level.
Yeah.
For a goal suited for that task.
Yeah.
Like NAWEC company. And now I went and wrecked NAWEC. Now you can safely say
Yeah.
you have helped Mustapha because I went to know they pay outrageous
Of salary and yeah.
Now you've helped one Mandinka family. 800,000 Mandinkas are sleeping in Kandokon. Kuranteji, Fenteji. What are Mandinka Fasa?
Hani wanka Mandinka Fasa.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Mandinka to Fasa Anola, political. It's not possible.
Not possible.
It's a lie. So for example, if you go and appoint me at Gambia Ports Authority, and I wreck Gambia Ports, ferry services, kaput, everything kaput. Mandinko nyanda darabadi, imante.
Yeah, batandira.
Exactly. But you Mandinka family killing the finting.
But ye kemele batand. Ye kemele batand.
So the only way you help Balanto or Mandinko or Yola or Sahule or Fula or anyone in this country is to fix everything.
To fix everything. Yes. That way everybody benefits from that fix. All on Fasa Road.
Yes.
Kamola life better.
Yeah. So when you know, niaje a fintita political ko karandingo la I will learn favor. Because Niko Mandinka Fasa, for example, you Mandinka Karana. Mandinka Karana, what a employee. Mandinka Karambalo, what
employee.
So Niko Mandinka Fasa to a Karandingo in the Kafo.
But woman sort.
Oh, full of Fasa. I mean, in the more interview, more Puntando, Ministry of Information. Interview, I double a secure report, secure report story, man.
Ibo no answer.
No, back here can.
I want a minute back here. Okay.
So I call her because Chogna Marina will let Kai former solicitor. And then Bahatan, former minister.
Justice Minister.
Will let Kai security report in Kana and Yinke. Semlex Bulay.
Immigration
go back and have no extra cost. So video you find sign that I know five sign I'm not name all bulayake, then even extra cost. So I tell you supposedly a fuller. So I can go you are siding with your Mandinka brother.
Wow.
Yeah, so there are when you done, really. But I found panic really. Yeah. So I know let's continue. I know. So but what came to my mind was here is a guy who contributed into putting a box at the airport. More Baker tax George.
Yeah.
Full car George.
More Baker.
Now you Baker but I'm laughing or you wanted me to feel guilty.
Guilty about what you were doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So all I'm in my subconscious I couldn't every man you are siding with your Mandinka brother. So also Molka ethnicity which can become disabled.
Yep.
So Ibadan isn't from a journalism journalists are UDP column.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which on the surface comes from a tribal sentiment.
Yeah.
A negative tribal sentiment. Because what is the underlining, what is the basis for saying UDP columns because I am Darboe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Darboe. And because you are Mandinka,
yes.
You're a leader Mandinka.
That's tribal. That's tribal. That's the tribalist.
I don't know whether you face this like I do also. Like for me, network of photo change, but more UDP. But on a serious note, it's like most of the time they try to box you.
Yeah.
They call you, oh, you're UDP, or you're UDP, and you are in the middle.
It's meant to disable you.
I have gotten to the point. I say, you know what? Well, that is all news.
Yes,
I'm UDP. That's all news. I take it. I embrace it with pride, because the only reason you are boxing me is because of language meaningful. Mbama minti, mfama minti, ikomu minti, but not because ye action legendo. And that is very sad. At the beginning, for me, I struggled. I try to, most of the time, I can differentiate. But it had gotten to a point, I'm like, okay, you know what? And even what is wrong with being that?
Yeah.
So that is something.
To break you.
Okay.
It's meant to break you. It's like when that guy said, you are siding with your Mandinka brother. He knew he was lying.
Yeah.
He knew everything I had was evidence based.
Yeah.
and he knew we are making a solid argument, he doesn't have any counter argument.
Yeah.
So the only thing he can say is you are siding with your own government. So, or for example, if I come into politics and I presented a case and you have nothing to say against my case and you say, Mandinkas are tribalist.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. Because what these elites do is that, you know, there are two fundamental things in a human being that goes to the heart of our functions,
Yeah.
capacity. One is emotions and the other is intellect.
Yeah.
What tribal sentiment does is that charges your emotions. And it charges your emotions dampens your intellect. So it makes you a brainless person. Because when your emotion is charged, it clouds the judgment.
Yeah.
So you can no longer think. You are driven by sentiment. So when you said, it's like we all want to belong. Like me, if I go to, that's a natural human instinct, and that is not bad. There is nothing wrong when a Fuller man comes in and he sees two Fuller guys here and two Mandinkas here, and he goes and sits with Fuller guys because he speaks Fuller.
Yeah.
And he takes them about their experience, about their culture, about everything. That's perfect. That's normal.
Yeah.
That's not a tribalist sentiment.
Yeah.
There is nothing wrong with a Fuller goes to see that, look, I think this guy is going to serve my interest as a Fuller.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong
There's
with
nothing
that.
wrong with that.
We shouldn't be afraid of that. You know, that we're not at war. At the government level, what needs to be done is to build a government, a system that serves everybody. So that the Fuller can be Fuller, everybody can be
who you are.
Okay.
And it's okay to also own up your identity.
It's perfect.
It's perfect. Yes. Because if I am this tribe, that's where I belong. That's what I know. It's okay to own that.
To belong. It's
to
okay
belong. To belong.
What is not okay
is to be a fanatic, right?
Yes. Not just fanatic, is to also look down on others. That's coming from low self-esteem.
Low self-esteem, yeah.
The person who respects himself, like when people come and say, "You're Mandinka Dibenda in Bangkok," I look at you and say, "Are you okay?"
How can anybody do that?
Like, that is not possible.
It's not possible.
Even in West Africa, not in Africa, not even in the world.
It's not possible.
It's not possible. So that is coming from low self-esteem and unnecessary anxiety. And that anxiety also makes you crazy, because you feel like, oh, my goodness, you're stripped of your sense to think. Yeah, so they use tribe to even disable you. To say, that's fine. If you say that, that's perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't care less. I mean, so some of these brandings, you see them, you just do what you do.
You just what you do.
Yeah. You just have to make sure that what you do is right.
Yeah.
What you do is based on evidence. What you do is not targeting anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because all these people who are running around with ethnicity, they are lying.
Yeah.
They're lying.
They lie.
You want to be Mansakunda full
No, I'm answered.
People are
no, I'm answered.
You know how many every significant number of every tribe in this country is living in hunger.
Yeah.
They are hungry.
And that brings to my and that brings to my Barry, that brings to my next one, Mustapha, the state of our economy. You were at the press conference in the Ministry of Finance. So I've said this, I have said this. I think Sidi Keita is the worst finance minister ever. We were talking about Mamburinjai, but I think Sidi is the worst. I'm sorry, that's my brother Sidi Keita. Because Mustapha, from Kabri Sidi Natanin B, privatization. Every national asset ngamin soto ibabe ida luasikang wara iba wafikang warang ibe fakang. Even Mamburinjai time untinya woje. And I think that is scary. My opinion, I feel like he's the worst finance minister right now, because Mustapha.
They would disagree with that.
Yeah, he will disagree with that, but the numbers will show us. The Gambian is not doing better today. You know, and you know, when you listen to them, when hosi kamenu ke santo one thing. Mustapha, ni tara marseto, ni finti da ni siloka, ikasada dan la minge. It kunu wotide. Ni finti ni marse kono bi ni tara society kono. Momin ka domoro keno kontongo simango dasamo. Amanke kombi amankele.
No, it's a figure from
the figures.
Though that could not be attributed to civil management because some of the consequences in the economy they lack. Like for example, you can take a loan right now. So for example, you can make an investment right now, or you can make a bad economic choice right now. Its impact is felt, let's say, 2 years down the line. So that also happens. In fact, in a lot of times that also happens. Or you can go into capital-intensive projects and take, let's say, 50. You are supposed to take a loan of 200 million. Somebody takes that before you come, and they take maybe, let's say, they would have spent 50 million before you come. So need that they take more loan, and because they take more loan, need another you have to complete that project. And you have to go and take more loan, and as a consequence, the debt shoots up. So some of the consequences in the economy they lack by a few years. But the essence is that, personally, I don't believe that this system of economic management is working. It's not working. You go and take a loan. You go and you can't even for capitalist private sector bullshit. Private sector is the engine of growth. Private sector is what will take us out of poverty. This is bullshit. I think Gambian private sector, for two reasons, lacks the capital. One, they don't have the capital. They talk a lot, but there is not enough capital. One. And two, Gambian private sector does not want to go into ventures that are going to eradicate poverty or lift the people out of hunger. They don't want to do that. They don't want to go into production of rice. They don't want to go into large-scale poultry production. And those who want to go into it, they don't have the capital. I think the state, call it socialism, call it what you will, I think the state should go into these productions. The state should go into rice farming. The state should go into poultry production itself. The state should mobilize its own capital and go into lifting people. Let's even suppose the private sector has the required capital and they go into this. And the same capitalists come and tell you, in capitalism, the market forces determine the price. Who are the market forces?
Who are the market forces?
The people with money. If you tell me the market forces, who are the market forces? Not the penniless guy. That guy doesn't go to the market. He doesn't know the way to the market. He's not part of the forces. The people part of the forces are the people with money. We are dealing with people, half of whom are living below $1 a day, $2 a day. That means, in simple terms, 2 in every 3 Gambian you meet on the road cannot buy 2 loaves of bread, 2 eggs, and mayonnaise. A day. 3 in every 2 Gambian will meet on the road. It's more than half. Now, those guys. Now, if you empower private sector to go into production, and they have production, the whole point of private sector investment, the whole point of capitalism is built on ego. I am the best brain. I am the one who built this IT technology. I am going to sell it at a price of my desire. Right? But the whole point of state production of services is to make it affordable to the people. When the state has its own farms, and don't tell me they don't have the money to do it, or they don't have the manpower to do it, or they don't have the resources land-wise to do it, they do. The state can't do it. And they tell you state cannot do business. Well, state cannot do business. Then state is, so you're telling me state is useless. Like state is controlled by folks who have no sense. How can you tell me someone with sense cannot do business? They can do business. People who steal will go to jail, and people who need to be killed will be killed, but the state will survive. That's what needs to be done. But because they don't want to do the right thing, they keep on these IMF kind of models. Every year they come and tell us the economy grows at 2%. And after that they tell you this is the debt, this is this, this is that. If you are growing your economy from independence, Gambia's debt rate goes up. It keeps going up.
Yeah.
1994, when Jammeh was taking over, based on available records I have seen, we were having around $4 billion in debt. Now it's 110.
110.
Now, if you act, and if you look at, people say we are making progress. You see, when you are looking at poverty rate and a country's success in eradicating poverty, and whether that country even has the capacity to eradicate poverty in a lifetime or in a generation, you don't look at, you don't say, oh no, right now, half of the population are at least above $2 a day. The other half of the population is just above $2. Just above $2. It's not, they are not rich. They are just above $2. Okay, so you just tell me that now. But if you look at the poverty rate in 1994 versus the population growth rate, and you look at how many people were living in the Gambia in 1994 and how many people were poor in 1994, how many people are living in the Gambia right now, 2023, 2024, and how many people are poor, I can assure you they won't be very much apart.
Wow.
Because we are not, except you are doing so well in spotting these figures, except you are doing so well in reducing these figures in a large sum, in a large scale, you are never going to conquer poverty. You are never going to end poverty. It's not going to happen. But so let's say, for example, half of the society is in poverty right now. We are 2 million. So if you take every year, you take 10,000 people out of poverty.
You are still, and 10,000 people more.
The question now is how many more people get
born into that's what I was going to say.
Probably for 30,000, 40,000 people. So you're taking 10,000 people out of poverty.
But 40,000 are coming every year.
Coming into poverty. You're never going to end it. It's like you are putting more dirt than you are removing. So this country doesn't have a plan. We bring all these people with lot of papers, supposedly educated, PhD, going to hotels, they bring a wish list. Okay, Nawek, we want to. How many times did they tell us Nawek will be better?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It gets worse. Every year. Nawek, every year they have a 2021 plan, 2022 plan, 20 this, 20 that. Now it gets worse. It never gets better.
Yeah. Mustapha, one thing I remember we were talking when Basiru Jomai Faye was supposed to come to Gambia. We had a conversation, and me and you, our concern was this is a new government, and Senegal, because what we know from PASTEF is their nationalistic approach.
Yes.
The reason why the Senegalese people voted them in is because what the agenda they sold to them, that when we take power, we are going to review all the contracts that we have France, because they know they are so disadvantaged when it comes to those contracts. They don't get anything out of those contracts. And also they want to change their money. They want to take control. Even yesterday I saw his meeting with the EU president, and he said Senegal want to be a sovereign again. They keep emphasizing that they want to own their own destiny. They want to take charge. And that is what the Senegal people want. They don't want to be the shadow of France, just dictating everything and taking everything from them when it comes to contracts and all the stuff. Now, again, for us, people like me and you, we always believe we are so disadvantaged when it comes to agreements with Senegal. You look at the transportation agreements, you look at all of the agreements, the hotspot coming into our country and arresting people and taking them away when you know, just like that. A lot of things, even, looking at
Senegalese are generally, they wanted Gambians to. So, when I was leaving Dakar just last week.
Yeah.
So I asked, I don't have wave.
Yeah.
So I asked a Senegalese friend to buy me a train ticket, a bus ticket.
Yeah.
and I'm going to give him money. And he said, "Dem dick." I said, "Are you okay? What is dem dick?"
Is their boss
Yeah,
service?
I said, "What dem dick? I am going on Gambia transport."
GTSC.
He laughed, and I said, "Yes."
But the reason why I say
But
this,
that's the point. I mean, I could choose to go to them through their dem dick, whatever.
instead of GTSC,
Yes,
yeah.
but
But the
why
thing
would
is,
I do that?
because he knows that taking that money away from you and putting
Yes.
it into
It's
that is the ordinary Senegalese. And remember, you know, when Jammeh issues were happening, they will say everything about Jammeh. Now, when Macky Sall, when there was this politics, and sometimes I'll say Macky said dictate and everything, some of my friends will say to me, "Oh, Fatu, no, Bulka was dictator," even though they were not supporting Macky. But there were limits to what they want you to say about their president. We don't have that. A lot of, when we are mad, we just mad. Baro Munyineti, we all say Baro Munyineti, because that sense of nationalism, right? But when you look at the contractual agreements Gambia has with Senegal, we were discussing this. Every single contract that we have with Senegal favors them more than us.
Yeah, it's always been like that. Of course, Jawara to a greater level stands his ground.
Yeah.
Let's just say also that Gambia is disadvantaged by a lack of efficiency on the Gambian side. Gambia itself and its governance issues contribute a lot to how Senegal controls its country. So, for example, Jawara, after the Jawara during the coup, what would have happened had Senegal not intervened? It's going to be a mess.
Yeah.
It's going to be bloody. Senegalese intervened, they died. And so Jawara went to overcompensate Senegal with the Confederation. Not just to overcompensate, but also because Jawara was insecure.
He was insecure. He needed security.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Senegal had an interest because we divide Senegal into two halves.
Yeah.
And their access route to the other half, it's shorter in the Gambia and more efficient and makes more economic sense.
Yeah.
So they need us. And in terms of also flooding our economy with their goods, it makes more economic sense to them. So Senegal needs us. Senegal needs a subdued Gambia. And Gambia, unfortunately, Gambians are at war with themselves. It's always been like that. The military, when Jammeh came in, the military played a part in what is happening right now. They need to take responsibility of that. They played a part.
But what can we do now?
Inefficiency.
Yeah, but now, for example, this is a new administration.
Yes.
Our president has more experience being a president than...
You never know.
No, stop. What are you laughing at? No, but seriously.
You never know.
What do you... Barrow's been president for 7 years. Joma is just coming in. This is a new administration.
Yes, but
what can we...
You know, Senegal is not... You can't compare Barrow and Joma. It's not... They're not on the same pedestal. The amount of access to resources Joma has, Barrow doesn't even have a quarter of it. These people... These people who cannot... I mean, we are here. You know how much millions we are pumping into Senegalese economy? It's millions of dollars just on the side of the foreign service.
Yeah.
We go to their... I was talking to a lady in the boss.
Yeah.
We go to their country for visa.
Visas, yeah.
We go there for everything. We have a foreign ministry full of people. They are sending political appointees everywhere. You think Senegalese will do that? About dysfunctional foreign service, dysfunctional foreign ministry.
Did you see our story about today? That is what is happening in Nigeria, in Mauritania.
Yes, it's everywhere. Because we have reduced. So the amount of a president is a cogs in the wheel. A president is an entity that does not survive on its own. Its competence depends on the amount of resources around him, in both human and material. And in terms of Jomai's access to resources, he has access to competent the Senegalese
civil service.
Yes, competent civil service. People who care about what they're doing. People who know what they're doing. People who are serious about country. They're not flying all over the place. They're focused. They know what they're doing. So Jomai and Barrow are not on the same pedestal. I mean, look at when we had this Senegal, this presidential. Go and listen to what Barrow said and what Jomai said. That's your.
What did Barrow say? Stop.
Come on, Fat. I mean, look at, compare the two. They're not even on the same. Barrow went into his personal issues, all the things he did in Senegal, causing this, that, and that. Things that, I mean, whatever. And they just joint communicate. What is it?
Yeah, what is there?
They joint communicates one empty. I just skimmed through it in few sentences, in few minutes, I finished, and I didn't even know what they meant by those agreements. Because we are having issues with fishing agreements.
Fishing agreement?
We are having issues with Senegal's now. A lot of goods are coming from Senegal.
Yeah.
Cheap goods. Our port is weak. The airport is gaining most of our businesses now. Our own country, you go to Farafenya. I went to Farafenya, I want to buy cashew, and he's telling me I don't have safer. And I told him, good luck with that. I only buy with dollars.
Yeah.
And I don't have safer. I said, good luck with that. I only buy with dollars. I don't buy with safer. We are in Gambia. You see? In my own country, I need safer to buy goods in my own country. That means I am required to even change my dollars to safer in my own country. And you know, country is like goods. Currency is like goods.
Yeah.
The more needed a currency is, the more expensive it is. Like, why do we say, like the central bank guy said during the press conference, you know, part of the depreciation of dollars is we need a lot in the Senegalese economy, and we change dollars to, each time we are going there, we change dollars to safer. Yeah, and that pushes the safer value up and the dollars down. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, but in my own country now, I need safer to buy something. You're kidding me? See? So you don't even have proper people, and while they are attacking us from here, we're not attacking them from there.
Yeah.
We have so much advantage to push also a lot of Gambian product into this other side. But look at south of the Gambia. There is no investment. Zero investment. Carton, they could have bridged Carton and the river in Carton, and have a huge business, Lumo in Carton, and bring in traffic from that Senegalese side to the Gambian side. No, they won't do that. They don't care. They could have connected Gunjur and Kanilai. Just, in fact, Balen area, all empty. You go to Fonyi or Kiang or anywhere, aside from if you go to Jarason or Basse, all these sides connecting us to Casamance and to Guinea-Bissau, zero investment. Meanwhile, we are here at ports is that Senegal is flooding our economy with their cheap stuff. You know, now even the Vitalate, you look at it, they are bringing this powdered milk from Senegal.
Yeah.
Now even the other milk like Vitalate, that Vitalate and the other pig that's coming from Holland and all those, you don't see that.
You cannot even get pig.
Yes, yeah. Because Senegalese are now pushing all their products into our economy, and because of that, and lot more other issues. I mean, when you say foreign service, I get pissed, because I mean millions of dollars is what we put into Senegalese economy yearly because of just foreign service related. You can't convince these guys to even come to the Gambia
and have embassies here.
Have embassies in the Gambia.
And leave the money here.
That. At least if you are doing it, you don't have success. Tell us. You're flying all over the place talking nonsense, going to all these Arabs begging. Do we need to beg? We don't need to beg. All that we are not poor people. There is no country that is poor. Countries are mismanaged or they are well managed. The Europeans, they don't have a lot of money. They initially had good management. And when they manage, they invest, the country generated income, they invest again, they generated income. That's how you become rich. Yeah. A country is like an individual. When you've got, there are some people who've got $1,000, some people who've got $20,000. Some they spend their 20,000 and they go and they can don't many and they have 1,000.
Yeah.
Why does that happen? Because the one with 1,000 is managing it
manage it properly.
Yes. So it's not how much income you have, it's how you invest it. There's no poor country that's mismanaged economies. Gambia is not a poor country. You could only beat me in Bangkok. Let's give an example. Just one example. During COVID, these people spent $850 million. $850 million. What did they do with it? They give it, which is going to alleviate the suffering of people for 1 week. Man bought on us 1 week, 2 weeks. Man bought ya bet kodo be batra tinyalo man on for man sapanya.
Yeah. I mean, there's somebody maybe some Concord 100 million.
It was selected. It was selected. Neither COVID read. There is a COVID report on food film volume 1 and 2. You will see. Yeah, because what they did was they have a software. This software, so they put 3 items there: onion, oil, and rice. When you receive one of these, the software marks it as receive all. Yes. So the software was designed to cheat. So when they go into the market and they delivered oil to, so sometimes you need supply correctly in Bokata. Femol siata nyoti. Dole tulo le solo dole mano solo dole jabos.
850
million fat. Let me just say that. I mean, 850 million. Take it. Don't give it as a loan. Take it, huh?
Yeah.
Select 7 young people in the regions. 7 young people in the 7 regions. And you in area council or blending your home. Your land provider. Yes, you say the state like in a business order. You say the area council for provision of land. You say the to family. 7 young people. And you divide 850 million among them. I want you to produce horticultural products. They have access to irrigation and others. In 2 years, they will return you over $1 billion in taxes. They will return you enough horticulture to export. And they would flood Gambian market with enough horticulture.
But that's what Barrow is doing now, Mustapha. If you could di kamola pure rice production ke puru ka banko mako ngambra wol be kere ni wato ko.
And so Barrow man say we are.
Sorry, come on.
No, I'm not so we are. Barrow doesn't want. Barrow will become impulsive mira. These people are impulsive.
But right now, that's what the central bank is doing. Kamol empower pure kodi jamale di mola pure ta mano.
They took a bank. Okay, you go and give a bank guarantee to someone to take $5 million, $50 million.
$50 million.
It's
Puru bang mano is mano dai sonia banko.
So mano da sonia. This guy is a capitalist. His goal is to maximize profit. His goal is to maximize profit.
Okay.
He goes and after the production is going to sell his rice, he will sell it at a price of his choosing. That is not your control. What I am saying is the state needs to be part of this. The state needs to be in business. Yeah. These people are working for themselves. They're not working for us. And you do a bank guarantee. I mean, we don't even know the terms of that. They do all these things and they do it behind closed doors. And this arrangement, other than that, they told us that they have a bank guarantee with someone.
Who pays the taxes? If the person defaults, who takes care of it?
Exactly. And we have taken a bank guarantee. And I suppose even in our I was wondering, I mean, since it's the central bank that is also giving this bank guarantee, they would have reported this to the public and said, this is all the information regarding this. You know? And this guy is taking this at this rate, and this is the document. We can't say before you tell me, bring me the document. the contract, bring it.
Yeah.
Why would you tell me? Bring me the contract.
And it
Let me
seems,
read
but
it
the thing
myself.
is now they don't tell us any of these unless, for example,
It's leaked.
yeah, you know, National Assembly in Karoke, the Africa 51 journalists international media letter, all of these things sometimes.
Banka all of way, you know, so there. The yellow you bank what develop what at it are far. But open you men, can you woman baker? Jamie and Yinaki Jam. Jawara and Yineke. Jawara had Singapore dream. Birin Jamin at a Jamaico Vision 26.
Vision 2020.
No, I call 2020. I call that when will be Dubai.
Yeah.
Jawara at Singapore. Jawara at Dubai.
Baro konyari.
Baro nata Baro said kate do komen ke Jawara ni Baro.
Akai silo windoku. Ne Jawara ni Baro talo ya kamasi.
But that tells you Baro all man. The foundation is where the problem is. We don't even know what development is supposed to be about, where it should start. The start should be feeding ourselves.
And this development.
The start should be we have food on the table.
Yeah.
And then we start to grow our economy, indigenous economy. We start to, then we build a collective wealth. Then we go into building private wealth. This country is already grossly unequal.
Yeah.
And more America, where we need private sector is the engine of growth. A people firing funny, I can sound like, okay, look, these people, and sometimes you get pissed when people tell you in the Gambia you need to work hard. If you work hard, you'll make it. You know how many people are working
People
hard?
are really working hard and they're not making it. No.
I know people who just use their connections and they get access to a land that they go and value $5 million. Public land. What that guy worked at?
No.
People just, Suku just go and they got him allocated a football field. It's not even a football field, a village.
Yeah.
In Lame.
In Lame.
What did he do? What did Suku do? Because they helped Barrow win an election. That's what working hard is.
That's
so those kind of things are, two kind of people are the ones profiting from Gambia. Politicians with connection to power, and business people who are flying around with this rubbish. Private sector is the engine of growth. It's a lie. Yeah. This country, we need to build collective wealth first. Then we build private individual wealth. All these private sector folks, they go and hide behind. They have spies everywhere. Me, if I start investigations, word gets to me. Word gets to them and you see some people contacting me. The moment you start asking anything, they know.
Yeah.
So they have, the same way they have insider traders in the government who gives them heads up about all these potential contacts. All that they are doing is they are into procurement of vehicles. They are into buying.
Mustapha.
They are into
we have
construction.
to, Mustapha. Yeah. No. Procurement of OIC from the vehicles to residents and all. Hey!
So all I make
new OIC.
All I have for private sector is
no.
So the only people who are suffering in this country is poor people.
Wow.
And that's not going to be fixed unless you fix the issue of leadership. Yeah. But it's like building Ome Alonko, it has a design flaw. Nina take a plaster.
It take a plaster maintenance director to all.
The maintenance, it's not ugly. It has a design flaw. It needs to collapse.
So what you are trying to say, this entire system has to crumble.
Yeah, it has a design
and we
flaw.
start from.
Yes. This governance infrastructure we have has a design flaw. It needs to be uprooted. Concrete
Mustapha bari ekumala foja sulo mimbe ko nyisi fa sulut miano ko sanji ta woro sulo ka wo
it doesn't take a long time. They just need a serious person in there.
Serious person.
But when politicians or oppositions will have to show that seriousness.
They have to show that seriousness.
Because at this point, especially if I look into Jammeh's assets and I see some opposition figures here and there involved in things.
Involved in stuff.
So you sit down and say, guys,
yeah.
If I replace Barrow with this person, what's the point?
You funny yafal.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But it's fixable.
It's fixable. We'll come back again. We'll come back. We'll come back. We have to go now. It's 6:49. If I'm listening, we like to be from back and the be. Sign be. I get to your phone. I get to your phone. Sign it. Sign got to call Beresit. Sign be. I get to your uncle. No call with Yari. No call. Money na call with him.
Dual beja become.
Oh, call with him. I'm not dual beja. Got no duaming. No duaket. Inko binke jahal ni mak everyday muna everyday mak eka funyo ko dua baroide dua banko dua baroide everyday ni audio blanye sa funyo dua baroide dua banko everyday ha duo wo iko fanyele luolo ka jelele fo ni la audio la mai ko je ko ribe dua ka baroide Mustapha luolo No, akadesa nunca dua elene. Akamira nkatrusted because every day I'm yonko. Koreka dua banko, koreka dua baroe. I'm like Mustapha, why do I have to pray for barodo? Barodo ko problem hoje. Baro control na mo problem hoje dito ko barodo. Manasi. Kura press conference ke mbo analyze na nada. Friday press conference me move tano. Ngakele kuna kita. Musa Vara in Kotkan. Hey, you want 500 stars senior. Buwa said Buwa Mambete. Thank you so much for sending me stars. 500 stars. Huh?
What is this stars about?
No, honey, if Musa Vara to do no like a star send. So if you send stars to Kirfatu, you're empowering the network. Stars turn to like money. So every month, Facebook. Yes. If you send this stars is money. Yeah. Like I think this 500 stars is about either is it $550 or $5 something like that. Around that. For $5 around that. It's $5. But yeah, it's $5. So but yeah. So at the end of the day, so if you send $5, you know $5 sent. So at the end of the day, you'll be collecting some money towards the network. Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing. Journalism is also expensive.
Yeah.
You know, more men be outside of this trade. Will come and do a good bar.
Shit.
Some people think
Iba ngamodo ya ko Mustapha be frustrating baleke. You are making ibela kodo do mokan.
I think you are. So Gambia don't need to be out of the phone. Sapomumbi. Don't even try.
But the thing is, the business is also very expensive. Like today, I was telling my team, every coverage some of this coverage we cannot have, because because you cannot put your equipment on taxi. I don't do that. Ne equipment okay taxi kono almantankala. You know, it's not safe. Those equipment camera killing $5,000, $7,000. You cannot put that in a taxi. So you have to deploy a car. Nibe camera send lay motor luas, motor fuel okay, and you're not getting anything out of that. So it's a day you're doing how many coverages It's an expensive business,
no,
but
it's expensive.
It is.
Yeah, it's expensive business.
It is.
Just this data the record starts
Yeah.
I spent saving records. 7 times 2, that's 1,400.
Wow.
1,400.
Ila fenko mana transportation in Kudor mana.
So 1,400, I just spent that.
Average report, sometimes investigative report, killing what you end up spending.
Yeah,
it's a lot of money.
Yeah, so because you have to do company reports that you know who owns what.
Yeah.
And also, if you want to do a memorandum to know the article of association, you pay 500. So if it is 7 companies you are looking into, you will pay 500, you pay 3,500. So yeah, it gets expensive.
It gets expensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Journalism is expensive.
It's expensive. So
That's not an excuse not to do it, but
yeah.
It's also good experience too because you can't.
It is. It is. You get access to. There's some time, like there was a time, I remember I was telling you, there was this case that was going on in the courts and people were calling me left because I got passionate about it at one point. Well, wo drug case, finger nyolo. That man, Malian Tobe minate. That guy, Minusoro court, he play free. Pablo nyola case. But Mustapha, at some point, the kind of information I was getting and hearing, I was even scared that sometimes you get scared. The kind of informations you get when you work on stuff, it's interesting. That's the beauty of it. What the kind of information you get access to, and
but it makes you also, it makes you less gullible.
Yeah.
Less easily fooled.
Yes.
People cannot just lie to you easily.
Yeah.
Because and that's one thing to our world they've noticed very early on. When Africans said they wanted independence, to our world they knew a fight has to be strategic. There's so much we can do.
Yeah.
Okay, so politically these people right now, they get to a point when even it's economically unnecessary to stay here. And two, right now we're getting more violent.
Yeah.
And if we still look, let's leave these people a human body and take their brain. And how do you do that? You make sure you control what somebody consumes, information. So that's what they do.
That they do.
Information is the most significant thing. If you want to control a person, control what they know.
Yeah.
If you have information, nobody can lie to you.
Nobody can lie to you. That's true.
You can lie to everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. So that's what makes journalism
very unique and interesting.
Yes.
Guys, we'll come back again. I'll be dragging him here. I jail on problem, but I'll be dragging him here. Time to time to have these kind of conversations too. Bye-bye to you all. Thank you so much for watching. Tomorrow, not tomorrow, Thursday I'll be on my show. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Ngira kewa interview sidia. Ila kewa ga interview ga in ka kora lale. Guy Mustapha ko kora muna neman. Amang kora na ti de bari. Ay wala fanya ako bara mana ti. Ako bara ako ninga musodi ala ako sire. Akala after sire la sire. Ako sire ala musodi. Ako sira muso ako bari sabala sira ni ndole be competition ola nkai kontenite bita nola foko do be bula ko you cannot objectify a woman. I will find jele telephone mala be dami. Thank you so much, guys. Alima, happy belated birthday. Happy belated birthday. No, I'm going so kutalan kasela sila 7 la sita fitro sita, but inshallah I will be back again. Mustafa mba drag la jan. Bye bye, guys.